But it started out was I was kind of floundering as a babyface. I came up with this new character. I wanted to turn heel, and they said, "Okay, you'll turn heel on Shawn as the guest referee in the Shawn Batista match."
Right.
And then the next month, you guys will do a one-off, and then you'll move on. And I think both of us were like, "That's a waste," because we had worked at WrestleMania 2003.
Right.
And
well, it just seemed confusing. Like, because I think that was the time. Like, I don't know. Maybe it wasn't. No, I can't remember what it was. It was just I was doing something with Dave, and they were just putting you in there for one, and they wanted to like turn you heel in that, but then you were going to go off. And I was like, well, you can't turn heel on me and then go off with me. So we need to think of something better than that. And then at the same time, it's like, we want you to beat Dave. It can't be sort of, obviously you can't beat Dave, sort of fair and square. And so then it was like, well, I mean, and again, I want to throw one of those things, I don't know, it might have been Pat, but somebody was, can you do like the thing where you tweak your knee and you're hurting? And of course, Pat was doing it from the you're really hurt type thing. And then all of a sudden, somehow it was like, well, what if it's, which again, I don't even know. I mean, just that's how all the cool stuff comes up, though. It's like, but what if it's like, how about we do that, though? Because Pat wanted me, obviously you're not really hurt, but you go down working like you hurt your knee. And, and then obviously, and then I was thinking like, well, then I've got to sell my knee for the next couple of weeks.
Right.
From a shoot standpoint. And if I'm going to be at home, I'm not going to be limping or whatever. And then, and then I've still got these matches to go with these guys. You got to work on TV, and I'm going to be giving brother's knee. But what if it's I tweak it, but am I hurt? But I've been hurt enough that people think I'm hurt. You know what I mean? It's
yes.
Like, but then it turned out to be a real work.
Right. We didn't.
And then we get
sure.
you. You know what I mean?
And that was the beauty. Because I remember was that Vince was like, well. He goes, what kind of finish are you going to do? And we're like, what do you want? He goes, I don't know. I just booked. You got to figure it out. And so we did.
But that was the one, like, all the way up to darn near the pay-per-view go. We didn't know
yes, we were
doing.
Still trying to figure it out. And that's when Batista went to powerbomb you. You landed on your feet, tweaked your knee. Yeah. Now, like you said, is he really hurt? Is he not? And what happened was the perfect storm, because that's the time when I was starting this new character, and I started calling the people. I started calling you a hypocrite, and I started calling the people hypocrites for believing in you. Because eventually the payoff was that you weren't really hurt. And you super kicked me and danced away. Yeah. And people were still cheering. I'm like, but he's the liar.
Yeah, no,
Shawn's the liar in this.
Then that's what was so cool about it. Because then we're sitting there going like, holy cow, this is the greatest, neatest thing in the world, because we're making them still cheer me, and I'm the guy. I'm the guy that did the bad thing. And we're making them boo you, and you called out. You called the truth. Thing, but because you're being so self-righteous about it, they're going to boo you. And how do you not have fun with that?
That's right.
Because it's totally opposite of everything
that was going on.
Well, I mean, but and anything that that's certainly for me anyway. That's not the type of baby face I am. I'm goody two shoes baby face. Yeah. You know what I mean? And
it gave you an edge too.
Yeah. Well, I mean, just to be able to be like it gave HBK a shrewdness. You know what I mean?
It did.
And so anyway, so obviously. We had a field day with that, and with that kind of mindset going into it. It was very, again, it was just, an off-kilter, anti-hero-ish.
Which was something that had never really been seen before. Because I think, the best type of heels always have a kernel of truth, like you said. It's like if you were walking across the street and I pulled you back because you almost got hit by a bus. But every day for the rest of your life, hey, remember when you almost got run over by a bus and I saved your life? Hey, remember when you almost got run over by that bus like an idiot and I saved you? You'd be like, shut up! I wish you would let me get hit by the bus already.
Now it's not worth it.
You know what I
mean?
Throw me in front of the bus.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's why it works so well. But then the turn of when I threw you into that into the Jericho 5000. That was another classic. I watched a lot of this back because I didn't ever watch it, but man, it was great.
Yeah,
what a great angle that was.
Well, that's that was. I remember you coming to me saying, "Look, this is my barbershop thing."
Yes,
you know what I mean. I'm thinking, this is something I'm thinking of doing. Well, I think
when you kicked Marty through the barbershop window. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think as you look through our angle, there were certain times that throughout it, whatever, as it started to look like it was starting to taper off, we'd throw some fire on the gas, or some gasoline on the fire. Yeah. You know what I mean? And obviously. Throwing my wife in there and that thing, and I think that's just set it to took it to a level of like, yes, somebody's going to get killed.